Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw a report today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
On that,
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay?
on that subject,
yeah, please.
though.
Recent reports claim former President Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance addressed questions at the White House linked to the Epstein files. Coverage suggested Vance met with key Trump allies, including Attorney General Pam Bondi, to manage political reactions. This drew criticism from some families connected to past Epstein cases. Also named were White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and FBI Director Kash Patel. Blanche has previously met with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted in the Epstein case. While officials denied discussing the files directly, it's unclear what was covered in those private talks.
President, have you been briefed on what Ghislaine Maxwell told Todd Blanche?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know whether you came up in the conversation or not?
Todd is a very respected person all over the country, all over the world legally, so I don't know.
There's skepticism about former President Trump's statements on this matter given his past connections. Todd Blanche, now Deputy Attorney General, once served as Trump's personal attorney. It's unusual for such a high-ranking Justice Department official to meet with someone convicted in the Epstein case, especially after the dismissal of the lead prosecutor. The meeting has raised questions about whether it could influence testimony in ways that might ease political pressure linked to the Epstein files. Ghislaine Maxwell, who has faced additional charges, is reportedly seeking a pardon or commutation, something only a president can grant. Critics suggest both parties could have motives, though no formal proof has been provided.
Thanks as well to Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for being here, wherever you may be. Oh, there you are. Hello, fellas. I missed you.
Standing nearby is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, considered by some critics to be one of the most controversial members of former President Trump's cabinet. Given the history of that administration, it's a notable comparison. Here's the next clip.
One for Mr. Cook as well on the iPhone, if I may.
Sure.
The president wants a made-in-the-USA iPhone. What are the chances that you can actually make that happen?
Well, if you look at the bulk of it, we're doing a lot of the semiconductors here. We're doing the glass here. We're doing the Face ID module here. And so there's a ton of it. And we're doing these for products sold elsewhere in the world. And so there's a lot of content in there from the United States.
But what about the whole thing?
We're very proud of it.
Can you make
the whole thing is
here?
just the final assembly that you're focused on. And that will be elsewhere for a while.
He makes many of the components here, and we've been talking about it, and the whole thing is set up at other places, and it's been there for a long time. So in terms of cost and all, but I think we may incentivize him enough that one day he'll be bringing that. But he brings most of the stuff. Look, he's not making this kind of an investment anywhere in the world, not even close. He's coming back. I mean, Apple's coming back to America. Thank you.
Mr. President,
The iPhone will not be manufactured in the United States. The cost advantages of overseas production make it far more practical. Former President Trump appeared resistant to that idea, while Apple CEO Tim Cook tried to steer the conversation toward the economic reality. Here's the next clip.
You promised on the campaign trail to bring forth a manufacturing renaissance. You just mentioned $17 trillion in your first 7 months or so. Can you talk about how an investment like this, all the other ones that you laid out, will positively impact the millions of Americans that trusted you with their vote?
Thank you very much. It changes our country. I mean, our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. and people like Tim are coming. We had Micron in yesterday. We had all of the big, great companies that you read about, you don't know about, but you read about. Many of them were making products outside of our country. Foolishly, we lost them. If we had the right person sitting in that seat, that would have never happened 20 and 30 years ago.
The economy has shown decline compared to 6 months ago, yet some claims being made don't match the facts. Former President Trump recently mentioned a supposed $17 trillion investment commitment, an amount equal to about half of America's GDP, but there's no credible evidence to support it. Even if such a promise existed, history shows that similar pledges during his first term often failed to materialize. Critics note that he appears to seek credit for announcements rather than confirmed results.
They are. But I watched this group of people on CNN and MSDNC too, the same thing, where they say, well, costs have gone up. Costs haven't gone up, they've gone down. I'm telling you, the thing that's gone up is stock prices and success of our country. Our country is really, really doing well, successful. Yes, ma'am.
Inflation has recently risen to 2.9%, and retailers are passing higher prices onto consumers. Critics argue that former President Trump is downplaying these facts, but economic data tells a different story. In a related development, Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. announced the termination of 22 contracts related to mRNA vaccine development, a move that public health experts warn could impact future preparedness. This decision occurred during Trump's tenure, raising further questions about its potential effects.
Driving force behind Operation Warp Speed, these mRNA vaccines that are the gold standard. Now your health secretary is pulling back all the funding for research. He's saying that the risks outweigh the benefits, which puts him at odds with the entire medical community and with you. What is going on?
Research on what?
Into mRNA vaccines.
Well, we're going to look at that. We're talking about it, and they're doing a very good job. And, you know, that is a pass. With Operation Warp Speed was, whether you're Republican or Democrat, considered one of the most incredible things ever done in this country. The efficiency, the way it was done, the distribution, everything about it has been amazing. But, you know, that was now a long time ago. And we're on to other things. But we are speaking about it. We have meetings about it tomorrow, actually, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and we'll determine. We're looking for other answers to other problems, to other sicknesses and diseases, and I think we're doing really well. Yes, ma'am.
The COVID-19 vaccine came out under Trump, but he rarely takes credit because his own rhetoric fueled vaccine skepticism in his base. After getting booed at rallies, he dropped the subject, even though it was one of his few major achievements. At the same press event, he faced questions on the Epstein controversy, with J.D. Vance insisting private meetings were innocent. A claim many doubt. Thanks for watching this video, and if you stuck around at the end, you can drop the blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I will see you soon.